Hey everyone, Dave here at Blueberries Games again. Today we're doing another $20 budget decks, and today's deck is Orzhov Allies. It is black-white allies. It's tribal, and allies are essentially just a watered-down version, if you will, of slivers, and in the fact that they help each other no matter what. They always do give each other a little bit of a boost. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we got here. So first we start off with Cliffside Lookout. It is one of the two 1-drops in here. It is a 1 that casts 1/1, but for late game it helps boost all of your other creatures. So it's not just for allies, but it's for everything. So for 4 colorless and 1 white, all creatures you control get +1/+1. You might only be able to get that ability off once or twice a turn, but no more than that, because by that time they should be dead. So we got 2 of those in here. The other 1-drop is the one that casts 0/1. It's Hada Freeblade. She is the quintessential ally. Her ability is whenever her or him, can't tell if that's a female or male, looks like a male, whenever he enters the battlefield, or another ally enters the battlefield, you may put a +1/+1/+1 counter on him. So essentially he's the one that casts 1/2, and then all your other allies help him grow. So that's what I mean by their watered down versions of slivers. They only help each other when other things come into play, such as other allies. So I got 2 of those in there. Next card is Kalastria Healer. I love this card. It is a 2 to cast 1/2 that has Rally, and Rally is essentially the ability for when other allies enter the battlefield. And this one, when Kalastria Healer enters the battlefield, or another ally enters the battlefield under your control, each opponent loses a life and you gain a life. So that is the general theory of this deck, is to get your healer down and start essentially pinging them and gaining life as you go. But the life gain theme in this deck will be a little different because it'll help other things. So let's see how that goes. 2 of those. Alright. The next one is Ondu Cleric. He is a 2 to cast 1/1. And when he enters the battlefield or another ally enters the battlefield under your control, you gain life equal to the number of allies you control. So massive life gain there. If you've got 4 or 5 out in play, especially with like the 1-drops and the 2-drops, you're essentially, with a healer out, you're gaining a life, they're losing a life, you're gaining more life based upon how many allies are out. If you have 2 or 3, you're gaining 4 or 5 life every turn that you put one out. So I've got 2 of those in there. Alright, up next is Makindi Patrol, 3 to cast 2/3. Right off the bat, a 3 to cast 2/3 is okay. It's about normal now for Magic. Back in the day, 3 to cast was a 2/2. This one is whenever he enters, or whenever another ally enters the battlefield under control, creatures you control gain vigilance. There is a combo with the rare in this deck that happens to be where you have the vigilance, you attack in, you don't have to worry about it, and I'll explain that in a minute. I've got 3 of those in there because that's important. Another part of the combo effect with Kalastria Healer, and I'll tell you what the other card is in a second. This is Drana's Emissary. I love this card as well. It is a 3 to cast 2/2 flyer, but at the beginning of your upkeep, each opponent loses a life and you gain a life. So there again, that's the whole pinging effect. We're just pinging life. So you could actually have all these creatures out and never have to attack. They'll do damage just on their own. So I've got 2 of those in there. And I said earlier that the life gain effect actually has meaning in this deck. It does other things. So here we have the first part, Nirkana Assassin. He's a 3 to cast 2/3. Again, that's the new norm for Magic, a 3 to cast 2/3. But his ability is whenever you gain life, he gains Death Touch, meaning that you still can have him attack just to throw out either damage or try to kill one of their creatures. So I put 3 of those in there for that. The more important of the 2 when it comes to life gain is Bloodbond Vampire. He is a 4 to cast 3/3 that says whenever you gain life, you put a +1/+1 counter on him. It is kind of like a Sengir Vampire effect, whereas if you do something, you put a +1/+1 counter on him. She herself is a vampire as well, so it makes sense. but she's a ally vampire, so she gets bigger and bigger. Essentially what can happen, and I played this style of deck on Magic Duels on the Xbox. If you have the Colostro Healer out and you put her out, she's essentially a 4/4 for 4 right off the bat. So I've got 2 of those in here. The other part of the secondary part of the combo that includes the Dranu's Emissary is this. It is Cliffhaven Vampire. It is a 4 to cast 2/4 flyer. So there is some flying in this deck, and that's helpful. That keeps it so that you can block creatures that are flying, or you can attack in with evasion. But it's the ability that really makes a difference. Whenever you gain life, each opponent loses a life. So with all the life gain you have going on, you're set up to not have to ever really attack so much as you can just use abilities on all the creatures to kill your opponent. So I've got 2 of those in here as well. So those are the creatures. Now onto the board control. So for the board control on this one, I went with the normal whites enchantment auras with 4 pacifisms so that they have creatures that can't attack or block. I'm sorry, 2 pacifisms for this deck. A sheer drop to destroy a tapped creature. The awaken part, I mean, you can use it if you need to. I don't see a reason. This is just more for it just kills a creature. So 2 of them. I put 2 angelic armaments in here. I don't normally put many, if any, equipments into the decks. However, this deck begged for more flying creatures. And it also gives them a little buff. The fact that it makes it a white angel doesn't really do anything for me. But it is kind of funny if you put it on, you know, a vampire that's an angel vampire. I think it would be kind of cool. So I put 2 of those in here. For creature kill, I have 2 terrors. The terrors are there to take care of anything that's not black or artifact. Then I put in some assassinates. It's the same thing as sheer drop, only without the ability to make a land have plus 3 +1/+1 counters on it. It just destroys a tapped creature. There's Hideous End. It's 3 to cast, destroy a non-black creature, and its controller loses 2 life. Again, we're at that point where I'm trying to make it so that you can, if you need to, kill with creatures, but you can do it with just the card's abilities themselves. So I got 2 of those in there. Death's Caress. It's 5 to cast. It destroys anything you want as far as a creature goes. And if that creature was a human, you gain life equal to its toughness. The honest truth is that unless you're playing against a humans deck, you're mostly not going to get the second ability, but it's there for just in case they are. You want to be able to gain life in this deck. Sip of Hemlock, again, it destroys a creature, but with its control loses 2 life. I'm trying to emphasize the theme of you don't have to kill your opponent with creatures. You can do it with the abilities of the cards. Alright, now, for the rares. The first rare I chose was Spear of Heliod for this deck. It's a natural fit for this deck because allies don't really have a natural anthem effect. They don't have a lord of any kind. So Spear of Heliod fits that bill very well. It gives all your creatures +1/+1, making them a little bit bigger. The only difference being on this one is the secondary effect is really cool. It basically means that you can kill anybody on their side that dealt damage to you, and that can be through any ability. It does not say combat damage. So if you need to, if somebody has a Prodigal Sorcerer style effect, they're playing blue, or if they're in red and they're playing something that has the same effect that just deals 1 damage to you, you can go ahead and kill it just for no reason. So I put that in there. Now, one of the other combos in this deck, I told you earlier that giving the Vigilance was important because of Hero of Gomafada. She's a 5 to cast 4/3, or he, I can't tell, there's actually no real picture in there. Maybe that's a he. Alright, he, when he comes into play, or when another ally comes into play, and that's important for this, all of your creatures gain indestructible. So, if you have the one that gives everybody vigilance and you play him, all your creatures can attack, stay untapped, be indestructible, and either they're going to get damaged through or they're going to kill some of the creatures on the other opposing side. So that's the little faux combo, like the little mini combo that you can use with the allies, is to make them indestructible and then attack in with vigilance. I was looking for it, but I couldn't find it in my stuff. I do have another part to this that I use on duels, where when an ally comes into play, they all gain lifelink, and then you're gaining lots of life, making your creatures bigger. They're indestructible, and that sort. But I did not find it. All right, the third rare, Agadeem Occultist, 3 to cast, 0/2. This is more for trickery and fun. It says, tap it, no mana cost, so it's free. Put target creature card from an opponent's graveyard onto the battlefield under control if its converted mana cost is less than or equal to the number of allies you control. So, say you have 4 allies on the field, and they pull out a nice big old 4 to cast big baddie. You kill it with one of your many spells that you can kill a creature with. You pull it out and you put it on your side. It doesn't gain. I wish it said that it's an ally in addition to its other types. It doesn't. That would have made it really cool, but unfortunately it does not. So it doesn't help your other stuff, but it still helps you recur some of their big baddies and put it on your side. So I put one of those in there. The special edition, or the special card, is a foil on Garruk's Wake, so that you can wipe their board if you need to late game. This game is a mid-range style deck. It does not do it quickly. You can get a couple what they call nut draws, which is when the deck just throws up all your creatures on the board and do it with creatures, but unfortunately this is more of a mid-range deck where it takes a little bit of time for setup and then it goes for the kill. So you may get this off once. Now for the lands, it's a black-white deck, so the basic swamps, and then the basic plains, then my normal faux fetches and evolving wilds, and then a play set of Orzhov Guild Gates so that you have your color fixing. So, that is my $20 budget deck, Orzhov Allies.